Buongiorno a tutti. Here we are again in my little kitchen in Lecce in the south of Italy. My name's Francesco, and today I'm going to show you how I'm going to make another quick lunch using potatoes, which I'm going to cut in half and boil with the skins on, and then I'm going to scoop out the insides and mash those together with some onion, rosemary, fresh ricotta and sun-dried tomatoes. I'll season them with some nutmeg and pepper, add a bit of fresh parsley and sprinkle them with pecorino and pop them in the oven to bake for about 15 minutes till they get nice and golden on top. They'll be great served with a little bit of rucola on the side. It's going to be a quick and easy and healthy lunch, and I hope you enjoy it as much as I do. If you do, please give me a thumbs up and do leave a comment below and subscribe to the channel. Come back and follow me for more. Let's cook. For today's recipe you are going to need a couple of large potatoes, some fresh ricotta, sun-dried tomatoes, rosemary, onion, grated pecorino cheese, nutmeg, rucola, parsley and some good extra virgin olive oil. We're going to begin by cutting our two well scrubbed large potatoes in half in such a way that they lie down nice and flat. Then we're going to score around the outside edge, and the inside we're going to score in a crisscross pattern in such a way that as the potatoes boil, the hot water will go between those crevices and it will make the potato cook quickly, and we'll also be able to remove the inside of the potato more easily later. As soon as we've scored all four potatoes, we can add a good pinch of salt to our water, drop them straight in and let them boil for 10 to 15 minutes. This is going to depend on what kind of potatoes you're using. Of course, it may take a little longer. In any case, in the meantime, we can get busy with the other ingredients. For two large potatoes, we're going to need about half of a small onion, which we need to chop very finely. With the onion chopped, we can go ahead and chop the sun-dried tomatoes. 2 dried tomatoes are going to be enough for 2 potatoes. Cut these into strips, turn them round and cut them also into a fine dice. Next, we're going to strip the leaves of a small sprig of rosemary and chop this finely too. And the last ingredient we need to chop is a small bunch of parsley, also as finely as you can. Now that we've chopped all of our ingredients, we can go ahead and add 2 tablespoons of ricotta to a bowl, and then we're going to add what we've just chopped. That is the parsley, the rosemary, the sun-dried tomatoes and the onion. And then we're going to go ahead and season with a good pinch of salt, some freshly ground black pepper, and some freshly grated nutmeg. Give these a good stir through, then set them to one side and take a look how the potatoes are doing. Be careful, they're going to be very hot, but what we're going to do is empty out the insides using a spoon or a small knife if necessary and remove the interior, like so. Make sure the potatoes are not overcooked, just about 3/4 of the way through, otherwise you run the risk of them falling apart. Brush a little olive oil on your baking tray, lay out the potatoes and then season them with salt, pepper and drizzle them with extra virgin olive oil before we pop them into a hot oven to bake for 10 to 15 minutes. Put them on the lowest shelf where the oven is at its hottest and give them a good 10 or 15 minutes to pre-cook while we prepare the filling. For the filling, we're going to take the potatoes that we removed from the center, and if they're a bit large, give them a quick chop through and then add them into the bowl with the seasoned ricotta mixture. Stir everything through and then we're ready to stuff the potatoes. This may look very simple and basic, but it's packed with flavour and it's going to taste terrific. So let's get back to the oven, fetch out those potatoes which are lightly golden on top and cooked through now, and then we can get busy filling them up with the remaining seasoned potato. Simply add the filling a tablespoon at a time to each potato in such a way that it's equally distributed and each one is equally filled up. Once the potatoes are filled, give them a nice sprinkle of finely grated pecorino cheese, a drizzle of extra virgin olive oil, a last grind of black pepper, and then we can go back into that hot oven to finish baking them, which is going to take about 10, 15 or 20 minutes until they're lovely and golden brown. This is all going to depend on your oven. Now I'm going to bake them in the middle just to make sure they're all cooked through, and then after about 10 minutes I'm going to take them out and move them to the highest level and pop them under the grill to finish them off so they get nice and brown and crispy on top. Like so. And don't they just look terrific? All you need to do now is serve them up piping hot, add a little bit of something green to make them pretty, and enjoy. Buon appetito!